All right, so I would like to welcome all of you to the December 3rd, 2020 Meet and Confer meeting. So I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. And our norms, as we stated in the last meeting, is we will have our cameras off and we will use that as kind of a raise our hand function if someone would like to speak, and then either me or Michela will recognize someone that would like to say something, and then we will go through the rest of the agenda. And again, at the end, if there's anything that we'd like to add for future meetings, we will certainly do that. So the next thing is Cea Topics. So Ms. Stevens, I will go ahead and turn that over to you.
I'm reading the topic list, yes? Make sure I understand.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our topic list includes, but not limited to, ESP evaluation and job classification reviewed from one that was presented before. Evaluations, RIF rubric for both ESP certified and auxiliary salary schedule, class size / caseload, Proposition 208, and performance review.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ms. Stevens. And then for our topics, and as you stated very well, not limited to as things come up, we have longevity, the alternate contribution rate or ACR for retirees, subbing for insurance, auxiliary salary, certified salary, ESP pay, either hourly or salary, and then retention in contract signing money or bonus, I guess, if you would call it that. And then moving on to the next item, which would be new proposals. So I know Ms. Stevens, your team has some in there. So I'll let you go ahead and present those at this time.
Thank you. I will be presenting the first one. It's the CEA proposed change to job classification for ESP. And I think we would agree that it's difficult to describe almost any function or outcome in the school or district environment without including the important contributions of our educational support professionals. And as you know, when job requirements change and evolve, which happens in the educational environment, making job descriptions relevant and accurate is of utmost importance to everyone. We understand we are waiting for the results of the district's job classification survey and the roadblock the pandemic has provided. We are asking for this proposal to be accepted as it includes the job classifications that are nationally recognized and follow these classifications until the survey is completed. And since that was my first one, I don't know if I include more or do I pass on the next one? Pass it on.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go through them just because on the norms, you know, we have the two meetings, so
of course.
We won't have any response to the proposals, either yes or no.
Okay.
Then we will I will have them as pending proposals on future agendas so that we can talk about them.
Okay, thank you. So Betty is up.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Betty France. We have another proposal, and it is for the staff reduction in force for ESP. The big focus is to, how can I say, to protect the employees and the employer. We currently do not have a system in place for the ESP site. There is one for teachers, but not for ESP. So what we want to do is we would like to help create a sense of safety and security. And this would be just to reduce the anxiety, increase retention, and implement a fair, equitable system.
Thank you.
Shelley, go ahead.
Okay, so our third one here is going to be a CEA proposed change to educational support professional evaluations. And so with this one, as Michela has stated and as Betty stated, ESPs are so vital to our district. And in order for them to do their job to the best possible ability, it would be extremely helpful if they understood what is considered to be exceptional performance and what is considered inadequate performance. So in this proposal, the evaluation form proposal, we have sections divided up similarly to what a certified staff member would be evaluated on. It's just divided up so that they understand, like, this is what's expected, this is what we hope to gain, here's where we can improve. That improves an overall department, and by all being evaluated the same way, it also improves our district function as well. So under each area, there's also a discussion or a section where departments can individualize it for, obviously, for that specific department, because we know not everybody does the exact same things. So that is what the evaluation form is in summary.
Okay, thank you. And just a quick comment on that particular proposal. Last year, it was agreed upon during Meet and Confer that there would be a committee put together to look at the ESP evaluation, and that is still the plan. So just to add that, Dr. Heather Cruz, the Assistant Director of Human Resources, will be leading that committee, and she will be reaching out to members of the CEA team, which includes ESP employees, as well as district and site administrators, to put that group together to go through this. So this will be something that will be worked on in a committee as long as both teams agree to that, since that's what we had agreed to last year as well. But we will function from the current evaluation we have, this recommendation, and go from there, if everyone is okay with that.
Do you know, like, a possible timeline we can be looking for info from Ms. Cruz?
Yes, it will be either right before or right after winter break.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Muted. Thank you. And those are ours for tonight.
Perfect. Thank you. So because of the winter break and the schedule of Meet and Confer, I would say that these would be back on the agenda next time, which is in January, because of the time, should be able to have responses or, discussion, and see where we're at on January 7th. So just wanted to kind of add that in as well. We, as the board team, do not have any formal proposals, but is there anyone on the board team that would like to add anything at this point?
This is Victoria. I don't have camera capability right now, but I don't have anything at this point. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not seeing any cameras flicking on. So moving on to pending proposals, which we don't have any other than the ones we just heard about and kind of talked through. So moving on to the F, the action items, longevity program discussion. I know that we had talked about that last time, and that is still kind of in the legal review process. Again, trying to make sure that everything works out for everyone, including, the district not being penalized. So I wanted to open that up if there were any additional questions on that at this point, either for the CEA team or the board team.
I do. If you are comfortable with perhaps re-explaining the situation, I think our last meeting we discussed that we're having issues with longevity, but I don't think we were able to share with everybody. And I think it would be best if I didn't do it because I'm going to explain it wrong. So if you're able to tonight, can you give kind of a brief what's happening?
Sure. So what the situation is the 29% increase based on longevity causes, because we've had salary increases or hourly pay increases. Anyone that's been retiring within 3 to 5 years of receiving the longevity bonus. So if you receive it at 25 years and then you retire with up to your 30th year, you had your pay would be that 29% longevity increase plus the increases in pay that we've seen. And the statute had changed where 30% is the threshold. So anyone that retires in that window that I described goes over that 30% threshold, and then we as a district are penalized by ASRS. And it is in the range, the one that we did receive was $50,000. And that's just a penalty. So what we're trying to do is come up with a solution that meets the statute, meets ASRS requirements, and that does not penalize the employee and does not penalize the district. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out with legal counsel, and we are working with ASRS at the same time to get a plan that is approved, so we can still do it, but also do it legally, for lack of a better word.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. Does anyone from either team have additional questions on that? Or Victoria, did you want to add anything to that?
Nope, you said it as best as I could. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so any requests, Ms. Stevens, for future agenda items other than what we will have is all of those proposals that you came with this evening would be added to the pending proposal section of the agenda. Any new proposals from either CEA or the board team would also be on the agenda. And then if you could just add those into that folder ahead of time like you did this time, and then I can add those. Well, I'll add the pending ones and then just know that there's new proposals or not, that's either way is fine. And then I don't have any other things other than the longevity program would be on there again, but I am hoping to have a much firmer resolution to that prior to the next meeting.
Okay, so prior to the next meeting, more information.
Right.
Okay. And
then one thing that I did not talk about was we had sent out a memo about the alternative contribution rate regarding employees that have retired from ASRS and are back working with the Cartwright School District. And in that memo, what it stated was that the salary would be reduced by the percentage of the ACR, which is a fee, essentially, that ASRS charges a school district for retirees that are continuing to work back on a district contract or ESP work agreement or whatever it may be, administrators, everybody. So the employee themselves are not paying the fee. So I wanted to be clear about that. What is happening is that the district is still responsible and still paying the fee or the money to ASRS. However, the pay is going to be reduced by that percentage, which is currently 10.22%, which is actually less than the reduction of pay for ESPs and certified employees that come back. So they will be placed at their level of education and years of experience, and then the pay will be reduced by the ACR percentage, which is not, I don't believe, been released yet for next year. So there actually will be a bit of an increase, and I'd like Victoria, if you could make sure I said that correctly, that would be great.
Yes, this is Victoria. Tom, you did say that correctly. We normally receive the rates for the alternative contribution rate and regular ASRS retirement rates at the same time in May. Sometimes they come early, sometimes later, but they're usually known by May.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Ms. Stevens, did you have any additional follow-up questions on that? I know that I'd received a couple of emails, but I think I answered all of those questions in what I said.
No, not at this time. No questions yet.
Okay, all right, perfect. Yeah, and if they come in, obviously we can talk through that outside of me and Confer, because that's just employee questions of information that already went out there. So I'm fine with that as well. All right, so the next Meet and Confer meeting will be January 7th, 2021 at 4 p.m. Via Zoom. And as I mentioned before, we'll get into those proposals or possible counter proposals, and we will move forward from there. Does anyone have any additional questions or anything at this point? Yes, Michelle.
I just have a quick one, and I don't know if it's now, but one of our meeting dates is on the same night as a board meeting.
Oh,
Which one is that?
I'm not ready for that. Shelley?
Okay.
The March 18th date is also a board meeting.
Okay, and that was the one that we put in there, thinking that we might need an additional or starting later, but we did start earlier. So as we get to the closer to the March 18th, if we need to move it, we do have some space in there before bringing everything to the board on April 22nd. So we can go ahead and do that. So I'll make a note of that meeting will not be on that date. And I appreciate you pointing that out.
Thank you.
this is Victoria. I just looked it up and they've already got the 22 rates out. It's 10.22.
Okay, all right, so 10.22%. If there are questions on the rate, because the memo that I sent out had the current rates on there as an example calculation. And that was just sent to individuals that are retired and currently working in the district. All right, well, with all of that said, I will go ahead and make a motion to adjourn the meeting. And Michelle, are you good with that?
I second.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. The next one will be is short because we'll go through the proposals, but the meeting at this point is adjourned, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your Thursday evening.
You do. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.